Welcome back. The United Nations has set aside sustainable development goals. There's 17 in all, and these are ideas that would make the world a better place. Now, number 5 on that list is gender equality. And I'm talking today with 3 women who are working on that goal. So welcome very much. We've got Salazar, the Executive Chairman of the Foundation for the Support of the United Nations. Also, Elissa Fisher-Harris, the CIO of Fifth Element Group. So great to have you. And also Gayle Jennings, the founder of the Wocstar Fund. Welcome. And I can't wait to hear about all this. So Janet, let's start with you. Just tell me about the UN Sustainable Development Goal number 5. What does it say? What is it hoping to achieve?
Thank you, Jane, and thank you so much for having me here. But simply put, it really means gender equality. That's SDG number 5, and there's no other way to describe it. But that raw goal and call to action to make sure that by 2030, we hopefully have achieved a significant progress, if not really equal the playing field for men and women.
And this is global, right?
This is global.
Globally.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
What is the current state? Can you give me some statistics of women and equality in the world?
Yes, it's both. I think there's a lot of reasons to celebrate the progress that we've made, but at the same time, based on hard data and reports, we still have a lot of ways to go. Specifically, from where I'm coming from, I'm just going to talk about that in the leadership arena globally, so politics and government and foreign policy and that. Public policy, it's still a lot of challenges.
A lot of work to do.
Yeah, but we are making great progress.
One of the things that is helping is corporate. Is getting behind this. So Elissa, you can kind of share a little bit. Tell me about your role and what you're doing in this area.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here with these incredible women that I'm fortunate to know. So I am the Chief Impact Officer for Fifth Element Group, and Fifth Element Group is a global business accelerator. And what that means is that we work to align with corporations that want to actually unlock funding for social good. So we do that across all of the SDGs. But in our viewpoint as a company, and I think it's pretty much a global belief system that in order to elevate and uplift all the SDGs, we really need to do that by uplifting SDG 5, which is creating gender equality. So the way that we do that is it's awesome to call to action and to really get a lot of people excited around it, but how do we actually make tangible difference? And that's unlocking money. We have to be able to find a way to allocate resources and cultivate and create resources that are going to make measurable change and difference. So that's being able to funnel money towards activations, global business activations, where you want to uplift women in other countries that have been victims of sexual violence, or things where their women are having unequal pay in certain areas. How do we go in and do gender diversity and inclusion issues and retrain people to understand what that means?
Gayle, you're also working in investments, right, in this area? So tell me what you're doing.
Correct. Yeah. So I believe that one of the biggest ways that we can reach the goal is through investing in the world's best asset, which is women startups, women business owners. And so I am working with a team that is trying to raise funds to now invest in those women. But we started with just telling the stories of who those women were so that they weren't hidden figures, so to speak. I myself am a product of a woman that, for all intents and purposes, is a hidden figure. And the beautiful thing, though, is, to your point, that corporates are coming along. When I had this idea, some of the first people that came to support me were JP Morgan, and Jamie Dimon even put a spotlight and wrote about this for us. But I think you're going to see more of this, not only from investors, but from corporations and foundations that realize that the way to reach this goal is through investing in our best asset, which is women startups.
There's a whole set of talent out there that may not be totally being used.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I mean, when economies and societies are healthy and thriving and all members can contribute, whether that's through employment, whether that's bringing new products or innovation to market, absolutely all of those other things, whether they be political, geopolitical, whether they be war, strife, all of that starts to dissipate.
What's the first step? Education? Is that where it starts? What would you say, Janet?
Yeah, I think education is one of the very basic foundation and really, very important component if we want to move this needle forward. The progress that we're making. I think that when we talk about educating people for gender equality, it doesn't only mean, for example, the actual literal education around it, but one of the components, for example, is educating men. You know, it's reaching across the other aisle and saying that, you know, I mean, the reality is men still hold the majority of the share of the pie.
And it really is a concept of shared humanity.
Yeah.
Because if we start to see each other as human beings with
Yeah.
shared experience and understand that, yes, both men and women think and operate differently, but that doesn't mean we have to, just by some of our DNA, it's ingrained in our DNA, but it doesn't mean that we have to operate on opposite sides of the fence.
So this isn't about whether it do good, whether it sits with your moral compass and your values, right? This is how we get the economy, the U.S. economy, the global economy competitive and innovative and add jobs to it.
Thank you so much, Gayle and Elissa and Janet, for coming today, and best of luck.
Thank you.
And thank you as well for joining us. We'll be right back.